Hey, everybody. That Robert Palmer song, one of my favorites, Every Kind of People. And speaking of every kind of people, I've got somebody a little bit different out there. I've got the man on the trail, Mr. Michael Demps, Mr. Daytona Mike on the Appalachia Trail, checking in with us. He's been checking in with us each Wednesday right about this time for the last few weeks. And for those of you that have not heard, Mike is out there on the Appalachia Trail, all 2,200 miles of it, planning to through hike it. And Mike, are you there?
Hey, I'm here, Uncle Tim. How's it going?
I think I had a problem here with my microphone, so hang on for just a second. Hey, folks. Sorry about that. We had a little button malfunction here in the studio. I'm speaking to you now, but I've got Montana, Daytona, not Montana, Daytona Mike. Daytona Mike on the phone. He's on the Appalachia Trail, and he is through hiking all 2,200 miles. We've been checking in with him every Wednesday about this time. And Mike, I know you're there. I don't know why I didn't get your message earlier. We've all got our technology problems. A recording from a couple of weeks ago we couldn't save. But anyway, all that matters is you are out there on your Sufferfest and being a real trail warrior. How's it going?
Hey, it's going great, thanks. Yeah, I'm actually still here in Waynesboro. I've completed my swag pack, and I'm in the Shenandoahs now and getting ready to flip up north and start heading south.
Sounds like a good plan to me. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You know, my legs got really, really tired. I don't know if you remember this, but I don't know, about a couple months ago, I had a friend, Rooster. His legs got really, really sore, and he ended up getting off trail. The same thing kind of happened to me, and yeah, they just got really sore, so I've been resting them. That way when I go up north, they'll kind of be fresh, and I can head south.
Yeah, what is your plan as far as you've been heading north, but you're going to change it up a little bit here. When?
Yeah, so on Saturday, I'm going to take an Amtrak up to Bangor, and then I'll communicate with the hostels up there, and then they'll get me squared away up at Katahdin.
And start up on Katahdin, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's something a little bit different, although I bet a lot of people do change it up like that.
Oh, yeah, there's different reasons. You know, first of all, you've really got to, you know, if you don't start with the bubble, like March, you know, or early April, you could miss that opportunity to summit Katahdin by October 15th. And I don't want to rush it. You know, I enjoy taking my time. And also, I don't want to overtax my legs. So, yeah, I just think it's the best choice for me just to head up to Katahdin now and then hike south, and then I won't have a time constraint.
Okay. Speaking of Rooster, I don't remember talking about him. Last week we talked about a couple of people on the trail, Ghostbuster, Jimmy Budget. Is Jimmy Budget in your neighborhood? Can you hear him playing the guitar at night?
He's not in my neighborhood anymore. He's probably at the end of the Shenandoahs right now, if I were guessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your?
Now, if I hadn't stopped to rest my legs, I'd probably be up there too.
What is your mile mark right now?
So right now I'm just shy of 900.
Okay. Well, that's 900 miles more than anybody that I know has hiked on a trail lately. How about Minion? Is the chef still in your neighborhood?
Yeah, Minion's still in the neighborhood. We were going to try to do an aqua blaze. And
do a what?
Do an aqua blaze. So go just past the Shenandoahs into Harper's Ferry on a canoe. But that plan kind of fell through, so we weren't able to do that. But I was actually planning on doing that with her and High Five and another guy named Lo Main.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you run into anybody that you've been hiking with that hasn't been able to make it, had to pull out?
No, not that I can think of. The people that have left, and the ones that are still here. But the reason why we can't do the aqua blaze is because of the lack of precipitation, and so the water levels are low.
Okay.
and so you just kind of ruin the either the canoes or the kayaks that way. So it's kind of difficult to aquaplace right now.
So kayaks are just there that you can use?
Yeah, so you rent them, or they actually have a buyback program, so you'd actually have to buy them, and then you would use them, and then once you were finished, the company would buy them back from you.
Okay.
Yeah, at like a reduced rate.
You sound good. How'd you celebrate your 4th?
Oh, man, so over here in Waynesboro, so I hiked into Waynesboro on the 4th, and came over to the hostel, and Eeyore, his trail name is Eeyore.
Okay.
He made a huge spread of food, and there must have been about 30 people here.
Nice.
So it was really awesome. And he's been cooking up a storm ever since, during my my flak pack.
Well, you're putting on a couple pounds, and you're going to get strong and go burn it off, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
So you're right around 900 miles. So you've got
right around 900.
You've got about 1,300 left. You running into any critters, or we got quite a few mosquitoes around here now. We've had plenty of rain. How are they treating you?
So the mosquitoes and the flies are really a kind of a nuisance, but my mom did send me a head net, so that helps a lot, especially when you're hiking at night. When you're hiking at night, you've got your headlamp on,
right?
And so obviously the headlamp does kind of attract all the gnats and little critters and stuff. So those nets are super helpful, especially at night.
I have hiked at night. I do like hiking at night. I do like knowing where I'm at night. I don't know how difficult that is there, but I do like to know the terrain. But I also know that, yes, all the creatures love that light on your head.
Oh, for sure. And then, so when you've hiked at night, do you use the light's got like a red lens or a white lens?
I've got one headlamp that does have a red lens, and I know how helpful red lens back in the day on the aircraft carrier. That's all it was at night is red. But I do use the bright lamp at night, the white light.
Yeah, that's what I use too, because you can barely see with the red one. But depending on the moonlight, the red lens is really super helpful, like inside your tent,
right?
When you're in small space. But out on the trail, it's not all that helpful.
How about critters? You run into any more snakes?
So I haven't, but this one gentleman that's staying at the hostel, he actually ran into a snake today, him and his hiking partner, and got it on video. And they actually, took a really long stick and actually got it off the trail with a stick.
Oh,
and
okay.
It was a rattler.
I thought they were just poking the badger, so to speak, but they were just trying to move it off the trail.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking that might have happened when I came across that snake that I came across a couple weeks ago. But because it was super aggressive, and I'm sure somebody moves it off the trail, they become kind of aggressive. So
that's right.
That's probably what happened.
It's his trail, for crying out loud. You guys are intruders.
Yeah, we're just visiting. It's their home. We're here by choice. They're here because they live here.
What's your weather like?
Oh, weather's been. It's great. It's really hot. And so that's another reason why it'll be nice to go ahead and shuttle forward and then head south, because it's really, really hot here in Virginia. So I'm thinking it'll be a little bit cooler in Maine.
I'm trying to think. Up in Maine, it should be. Mike Katahdin, what's the elevation on that? Is it like 4,000 something, or is it 6,000? I forget.
Hey, Eeyore, do you know the elevation of Mount Katahdin off the top of your head?
I do. 5.
Yeah, it's around the maybe around 5,800.
Okay, that's in the ballpark of where I thought it was at. So, Eeyore, he give himself that name, or did somebody else?
I think he gave it to himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much of let's see, you're in Virginia.
Yeah.
How much of Virginia you got left that you're going to be picking up on the when you're heading south?
So on the way back, really all I have is the Shenandoahs. So just over 100 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be really quick. And the Shenandoahs, from what I understand, is a pretty easy part of the trail, relatively flat. You're not going to have those 4,000 and 5,000 foot climbs. It's maybe 200 and 300s over and over and over again. But so it's relatively flat compared to what we've been through in Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee.
Okay, 2,200 miles, 14 states. Do you know how long you are in Maine once you start north?
So Maine, I want to say Maine is about 260 miles, but I think some of the miles are going to be a lot slower. You're not going to have those 15 and 20-mile days. Some days you're going to have 10-mile days.
Okay.
Yeah.
One foot in front of the other, just keep going, right? I'm thinking you said once people are this far into it, they're committed unless something catastrophic happens.
Yeah, I mean, once you're this far in, I mean, you're in it. You're in it for the long haul. That's part of the reason why I'm taking this break, is because I don't want to break down my body so much that I'm not able to finish. But yeah, I'd say at this point, people are just, they're gonna finish, unless something happens.
I've got a little story that I'm going to get to pretty soon, a little bit of history, but led me to ask, what kind of shoes are you wearing?
So I am wearing Topos.
Which I'm not familiar with. Are those hiking boots, or are those like running shoes? I don't know.
They're basically trail runners.
Okay.
And they're lightweight. They dry quickly if it gets wet. And because when I started the trail, I was wearing Brooks trail runners. And in my opinion, Brooks are great as far as running goes, but the trail runners, for me, they just didn't work out. My feet kind of swelled with them. I got a bunch of blisters right before I got into Daleville, and then when I got to the outfitter there, I got some Topos, and they've been great. I mean, one of the reasons why I like them is because you don't even have to break them in. There's no break-in period.
That's kind of...
Put them on, and they feel great.
I never had luck with Brooks. I'm a Saucony guy, and Saucony for me, put them right out of the box, never have a blister. So whatever you get used to. So, but I don't like to break in shoes, and I've never had to for years and years and years. How far running and walking and hiking shoes have come in the last 20 years. Yeah,
they've been excellent. I mean, I remember the first pair of Brooks running shoes I had. I got them the day before I did the El Paso Marathon, and had no issues with the shoes. They were great.
Yep.
And I've been using those to run ever since. But as far as hiking goes, I'm Topo all the way. But I think once I'm in Maine and New Hampshire, I may switch to the Merrell Moab 3s. They're really good and they're supportive. Only thing is, for me, I did have to break them in. So
okay.
Yeah.
Mike is open to endorsing anybody that's listening tonight. Any gear that Mike is using. Remind me then, when are you going to head north? When are you leaving? Where you're?
So Saturday. And actually tomorrow, since I'm here at this hostel, they offered me to do a work for stay tomorrow. So I'll be shuttling some people to and from the trail. So that'll be kind of neat tomorrow.
Okay. Meet some new people.
Yeah.
All right. Any shout outs? Anything you want to say? I've got a little history lesson, but I'm going to wait until you've had your say.
Hey, for the shout outs, maybe I'll say hi to my mom and my stepfather, Ann and George Putas, my nephews, Jake and Brody, and my brother Bill, and everybody out here on the trail.
Nice to have the support.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I haven't gotten an address where I can send something yet, but I'm sitting on the much-coveted Uncle Tim Show ball cap, and if you decide you want it sent or if you want to wait till after, I'm open for anything. But if you have a point where I could mail you something, you let me know.
Definitely will. Thank you very much.
How about Grandma Gatewood? Have you ever heard that name?
Grandma Gatewood. I might have. I want to hear what you have to say.
Every week I try to find something about the trail, and you never run out of material. So I looked.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
This Grandma Gatewood, her name was Emma Gatewood.
Yep.
She died when she was 85. Let's see. She died in 1973. She was just known as Grandma Gatewood. She was an American ultralight hiking. She was a pioneer. She had a really tough life. She was a farm wife. She suffered a lot of domestic abuse. She had 11 kids, But she became famous as the first solo female thru hiker of the the Appalachian Trail, in 1955 when she was 67 years old. She was wearing Keds, good old Keds canvas shoes.
Amazing.
So she became the first person, male or female, to hike it 3 times then. She completed a second thru hike 2 years later, followed by a section hike in 1964. Then she took a break. She hiked 2,000 miles of the Oregon Trail, and she's inducted into the Appalachian Trail Hall of Fame as of 2012. So
That's awesome.
she had, like I say, a tough life. She survived a marriage that was severe domestic violence. I'm not going to get into that, but she decided that the Appalachian Trail was going to be her form of liberation and healing. I think there's a lot of healing goes on that trail. And,
absolutely, yeah.
And when she did her first thru hike in 1955, she basically didn't know what she was doing. She wore Keds sneakers. She had a homemade denim bag, and she just relied on foraging and the kindness of strangers along the way. And, the rest is history. She persevered.
Oh, she absolutely did. And, I saw a photo of her not too long ago. And it looked like, she didn't have a pack like we have. It was like she had a bag that was basically mounted on the end of what looked like a stick-like item.
Right.
And kind of had it over her shoulder, And so, I mean, sometimes when I'm climbing up some of these rocks, or I'm just wondering how she managed.
Yeah. It's funny how it happened. She said she found a copy of the August 1949 National Geographic that somebody had thrown away, and there was an article on the trail, and she said that just captivated her. So she first tried it in 1954 when she was 66, but after a couple days she got lost. She broke her glasses. She ran out of food. The rangers convinced her to return home, but she decided not to tell anybody about her failure. And then the following year, when she was 67, she went for it, and actually, she began in Georgia, ended 146 days later on Mount Katahdin, and she said she sang the first verse of America the Beautiful out loud.
Wow.
And then she said, I did it. I said I'd do it, and I've done it. She is quite a story, so no wonder she's in the Hall of Fame. She was what do I want to say? She broke new ground for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah, she broke the glass ceiling. And, I'd also add that, nowadays, there's a lot of bridges on the trail.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've seen some pictures of them.
Yeah, and, she didn't have those back in the day, I'm sure.
Right.
Making it even more challenging.
Yeah, just head down that gully, right? Never mind the bears.
Deal with it.
Oh, well, I tell you, you sound good. What else you got for us, Mike?
Oh, well, no, I'm just looking forward to heading up north and then heading south, and it'll be cool because, you'll see some southbounders, but then also you'll see everyone that you hiked with going northbound as well.
Right. Well, I'm sure you have your problems to deal with. All I'm dealing with here tonight is that sticky button where there was a whole bunch of dead air. I was talking to you and nobody else because this button. I'm blaming the button, Mike.
Yeah, blaming the button, huh?
That's right. So next week when we hear from you, you will be in Maine.
Yeah, I'll be in Maine next week.
I can't wait to hear what's going on in Maine. Watch out for the moose. They get really mad.
Yeah, I'll try not to upset them.
I interviewed a Iditarod trail musher, and this year an angry moose had to be shot because it was stomping dogs because they don't like to get out of the way.
Oh, wow.
So you be careful out there, and we want to make sure we can check in with you next week. I was worried tonight. I was thinking no signal that we were going to have to postpone, but hey, we could hear you great.
Oh, yeah, and Joe, and I'm so sorry about that text. It must have just saved as a draft. And then when I saw a text from you, I saw mine hadn't sent. I was like, oh, no.
Technology, we know. Sticky buttons, texts, I do it all the time. Get a text ready to go. You're doing it you're doing it hands-free, and then you hit send, but you got to hit send twice. So, yeah, we all know about technology.
I think I got sidetracked. Maybe that'll be my new trail name, Sidetracked.
There you go. You'll you'll definitely run into some new trail names, some new people up there in Maine.
Oh yeah, you run into new people every day.
All right.
You know?
Well, nobody's nicknamed you Grandma Gatewood yet, but that wouldn't be a bad name.
No, it'd be a compliment. I'd take it.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks for the call in, and I'll have some different history and some different stories next week because you'll be up there in the cool country.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, man, keep up the warrior spirit.
I appreciate it, Uncle Tim, and thanks for letting me call in.
All right, talk to you next week, man. Good luck.
All right, talk to you next week. Thank you.
Yep, bye.